What's up YouTube, it's Dylan from the Buddy Force here. We're at our Winnipeg OTS. What's your name, what did you play, and how did you place?
So I'm Alex Wentzell. Today I was playing Rokket Dragon Link, and I made top 4.
Okay, and why did you decide to play Rockets today?
For those of you who hate me on this channel already, you know I normally play Thunder Dragons, but after Colossus was banned, I didn't really know what to play. Tried playing Salads a bit, but then I saw that top list on the UDS for Rokket Link, and I basically modified that a bit and decided to play it because I had all the cards already for it.
Okay, let's get right into it.
Okay, so to start with the main deck, have sort of the Rokket package. So it's 2 Tracer, 2 Silver Rokket, 2 Magna Rokket, and 1 Recharger. So, Tracer's obviously the best card in the deck. You need this to function because it's how you get your level 8 synchros out, as well as just building board presence. It's not as helmet as a card as you'd think though, because locking yourself to darks can really screw yourself over if you don't sort of plan your plays out ahead of time. Silver Rocket's just the best level 4 Rokket, I think. Effect-wise, you don't really proc the Rokket effects often, but I'd much rather use a Silver Rokket effect like turn 1 to rip a card out of their extra deck. You can hit that Super Poly Starving Venom or something else like that. And then as well, with Boot Sector Launch, it's 2200, so it can crash Winda, which is always nice. And then Magna Rokket just has a pretty cool non-targeting destruction effect. And Recharger has a really cool combo with Tracer that Striker Dragon I can go over in when I go through the extra deck. As well, you play 2 Absolrouter. The only flaw with this card is it's not a Rokket. Its special summon effect from hand is really good. When it goes to grave, getting to search is amazing. You usually send it off Dragon Ravine in your turn 1 combo, and I can't complain. It's a really good card. Then I play 3 Safearts. This card alone can be the full combo. Like, slightly reduced. If you have this and 1 Rokket in hand, you can get the full board of having like Heretic Seals, Unchained Abomination, Borload Savage. Like, there's a reason it's gone up in price, because searching dragons generically is just crazy. And then the best search targets for Safert, River Buster and Clap Serpent. There's a reason these cards are at 1. It's they're free link material that replace themselves as well. And being level 4 dragons, it lets you go into Striker Dragon with them, Guard Dragon LP, Guard Dragon Pitsy. So it really gets your combo going. In terms of generic dragon link stuff, there's the Red MD, which is pretty self-explanatory. You summon it off LP, or you hard draw it and people forget that you can banish a dragon to special summon it to the field. And it's just crazy. The fact that it's not a hard once per turn, you can loop this like at least 3 times in a turn if you play it correctly. And then Chaos Dragon Levineer, Own Dragon Brotar. So Brotar, it's usually the first card I side out. It's nice that it's a level 4 lower dragon, so you can just normal it and go into Striker Dragon, start your plays. But more so, you can summon it off Heretic Seal. If you revive it Red MD, it could be an extra search that you need to push through. And then Levineer is just as a top deck card. You just play the 1 copy. You can recur it by banishing Safert from the graveyard to add it back to hand. But popping those 2 cards or ripping that card from the hand can be just really good. Plus being a 3000 beater is just really good in the game right now. Then as well, Keeper of the Shrine. This is a card, you can special summon it from the grave if a dragon's destroyed by battle or sent to grave or destroyed by battle. So you can trigger this with things like Striker Dragon. You can trigger it when your opponent destroys a monster by battle. The best part is, this card doesn't banish itself after it specials it from the field, so you can recur it turn after turn. Destrudo is just a good extender. I don't play any level 7 synchros in this build, but being able to dump this off Foolish or Dragon Shrine or Dragon Ravine, being able to special it, most of the time you're turning it to be under level 4 when you target one of the level 4s, so it can really extend your Guard Dragon plays. And then this is sort of the spicy tech today, Quackymeru Drago. This is a card, it destroys itself and lets you discard Iron Core, Quackymeru, or reveal a dragon from your hand at the end phase. But when it's on the field, your opponent can't special, or neither player can special summon light or dark monsters. So this is my Heretic Seals target. I like it better than something like Aftermage Sloth because it can, on the right matchup, this can just stop a deck completely. Like Shaddoll Invoked or even Spiral, you hit them at the right time and it can really stop their plays. As well, because it's level 4, like there was games where I just normal summoned this and sat on it, and Dylan will know how strong that can be. So then I play hand traps in this build, so I just play 3 Ash, 3 DD Crow. The UDS winning list played Droll instead, but I think from reading discussion that was more so because it was a UDS and everyone there who was invited was because they're like pretty good players. So Spiral is going to be way more common deck compared to a lower, sort of like more local event like this. So I feel DD Crow hits more that like Droll wouldn't be able to hit. Now onto the spell cards. Play 3 Quick Launch. Probably one of my favorite spell cards in the game right now. It's Quick Play. It's a free summon from deck. It has a clause where it pops at the end phase, but when you're summoning like low-level dragons, they're not staying on the field. So there's not much else you can say, or much else more you can say about this. It's chainable to anti-spell. Just, it has crazy utility. And then just 1 Dragon Shrine, 1 Foolish. The reason you play 1 of each is if you happen to draw both, then you're fine. Compared to if you play 2 Dragon Shrine, you can be locked out of playing the second one because it's a hard once per turn. And because you're not playing any normal dragons to send to grave anyway, there's no real advantage to Dragon Shrine over Foolish. And then you play 2 World Legacy Guard Dragon. It's a really good extender or sort of recovery. Being able to special a level 4 lower dragon from your graveyard is really good, and as well, its effect to move a dragon to another one of your main monster zones can be really good, where you might need 4 materials to get to a Link 2 and LP and Pitsy to be able to use the effect. With this, you can just get to the Link 2, get to LP, and then move the LP over, and then you're able to start your guard dragon plays with less monsters, really. Field spells, 2 Boot Sector Launch, 1 Dragon Ravine. This search roll off Romulus, you only ever need to use it once. Boot Sector Launch is a crazy card for, I mean the attack boost is good for getting over window with Silver Rocket. The effect to summon from hand comes in your main combo, and then the recursion of summoning, if your opponent has more monsters than you do, summoning the difference in rockets from your graveyard can be crazy. If they have a full board, you can summon 3 or 4 monsters, and then that's a Borreload or a Boral Sword right there. And then last cards in the main deck. I main deck 3 Cosmic Cyclone. I'm liking it better than Twin Twisters this format, just because things like Field Barrier for those Mystic Mind Burn or Barricade Board Blocker, this plays around it, and you're able to just remove the card. The 1,000 life point cost doesn't really impede you that much. If you're going to lose because you lost 1,000 life points from this, you probably lost anyway, unless you hit something that you really shouldn't have with Cosmic Cyclone. So then moving on to the extra deck, I have, for the Link ones, I have 2 Striker Dragon. The UDS list played 3. I wanted to make room for Borreload. That's really the only difference in here compared to his list. This card is really good. It searches Boot Sector Launch. It interacts with Rocket Recharger in a really like crazy way. I'll just pull the cards out that you would sort of pull the combo with. So what you would play Striker Dragon, you'd have Recharger in grave, use Striker Dragon effect to pop itself, now Recharger to hand. Then, because Recharger's condition is met that a Dark Monster was destroyed that was summoned from the extra deck, you send it from hand to grave, and you summon something like Red MD from grave. You just have to summon a different monster than what was destroyed, which is just an insane combo, being able to recur Red MD more than just with the LP and the Pitsy. So then, LP and Pitsy, pretty much any Dragon deck's going to be playing these because the Guard Dragons are really good. Summoning Red MD from deck, or if you have Red MD in hand, summoning something like Absorouter or Destrudo or some other extender, and then getting to recur it again with Pitsy is just crazy. For Link 2s, I'm playing Quad Boral and Delindrus. These 2 play into a combo that works pretty well. Quad Boral, you can discard a card to pop a monster on the field, and if it's a Link monster, you can summon rockets from grave up to the Link rating, but you can't summon Link 2 or lower for the rest of the turn. And then Delindrus, its first effect is just garbage, but the second effect of summoning itself from the grave when a rocket's summoned, but it's just banished when it leaves the field. So you Quad Boral, you pop Delindrus, summon your 2 rockets, and then Delindrus just comes right back. So it's like discard 1 for 2 free Link material. Drodic Seals and Romulus and Beat Cop are the other Link 2s. This is just to get locked to Darks, and you need to get to a Link 2 to do your Guard Dragon combos. Romulus is just a search for Ravine. And Herodic Seals, I love ending on this, especially with Krakemir Drago. In certain decks like Salamangreat, you can bounce their normal summon. If they don't open Will, there's not much they can do. And then, yeah, I've ended on boards at end of main phase where I had this on board and then Nibiru'd. And then when it's tributed. I can still summon from the deck, so I can just summon a Tracer if I didn't use the effect and still pop off and at least end on like a Borreload Savage, even though I just got Nibiru that turn. I'm playing Triple Burst as the only Link 3. This is just, if you get locked, you need to remove a Link material or you need to have that down arrow to make LP work. It's more for awkward plays. It's usually the last card left in your extra deck, but there are instances where it pops up and it's useful. For Link 4s, I'm playing Unchained Abomination, Borreload, and Borrelsword. Borrelsword's for the OTKs. Borreload's just a crazy useful card, as most people know. And Unchained Abomination, you can pop a monster, or pop a card when a card is popped on the field. You can pop a card when something's destroyed by battle, and you can pop a card on the end phase. So it can be up to 3 targeted destructions per turn. And a lot of the time, like hitting set cards when they were set that turn on the end phase, or destroying something by battle and getting destroyed their back row can be really useful. And then the last 2 cards in the extra deck are the 2 level 8 synchros, Draco Berserker, the Tenyi, and Borreload Savage. Borreload Savage, with setting up negates and getting a big attack, is really good. Most people know how to play around it though. Draco Berserker, a lot of people aren't familiar with as much. If your opponent activates a monster effect, it can banish that monster. It doesn't negate the effect though. But when it destroys an effect monster by battle, it can make a second attack on monsters and it gains the attack of what it destroyed. So this thing can get really big really fast, and your opponent doesn't really know what to do. What I played in the side deck, my side deck's more aimed at if I'm forced to go second, because this deck really loves going first. So it's stuff like the 1 copy of Pankratops, 2 copies of Nibiru. Pretty self-explanatory. Nibiru's not, at least the Winnipeg meta is a lot of control, a lot of back row decks, so Nibiru doesn't come up as much. But I still couldn't go without playing it. And 2 Dark Ruler. This is for the against Shaddoll Invoked when they get the Winda Caliga board and things like that, or if Spiral gets their full board, so you have a chance to fight back. And this deck can build the big boards in response, so Dark Ruler can be really good. 3 Twin Twisters, just as additional back row hate. There are certain cases where this can be better in Cosmic Cyclone against certain matchups, but as well, you usually have a mix of both by the time you go to Game 2 or Game 3, if there's ever a matchup where you really need that much spell trap hate. 1 copy of Red Reboot, because it's limited. It can be a good blowout card if you're playing against something like Salamangreat, and they just have that 1 rage set, and then you drop this from hand and then just finish the game that turn. 3 Evenly, because there's so many back row decks now, Evenly is such a good card for just destroying boards, and a lot of the time, the 1 card they leave behind won't be an issue, and you'll be able to deal with it that same turn. And then last, it's Imperial Order and 2 copies of Anti-Spell. Again, more so, these are really the only going first cards, and it's against a lot of those decks that really use spells to get them going. Alright, that's the deck list.
Is there anything about the deck that you'd want to change after the event?
I always go back and forth if I want to play 3 Striker Dragon or not. The list from the UDS played it, and there was maybe 1 instance today where I wish I had it, but having that utility of having both Borreload and Borrelsword is, I feel, more useful. And then I went into Triple Burst once today, so I'm thinking about that, but there are those odd cases where it comes up.
Okay, and are there any shoutouts that you'd like to give?
I guess I'll give a shout out to all my haters, apparently, who think I'm both awkward and cringe. Yes, I read all the comments. I cried a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. But I also give a shout out to all the people who I play with at both Fusion and Galaxy. It's a good group of people, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Okay, well, once again, congratulations for top 4. If you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.